Much obliged to have you join us on the program Politics Today on independent television and radio in the last 1 year. Talking about governance, to what extent has the present administration fared? Maybe just over 6 months or so that the present administration came on board. The issue of insecurity is still at the front burner. Just a few days ago, we recall the unfortunate incident in Plateau State where several innocent people were allegedly killed by some herders. Interestingly, the vice president was there, but it has continued to attract reaction, particularly on the path of why should this ugly incident continue unabated.
Yes.
I'm your host of the most, Sonny Duke Okosun. I want to say big thanks to our panelists here in the studio. Big father here, Barrister Gentleman Amego. Many thanks for always obliging us.
Thank you very much, Duke.
We also have with us Comrade Roy Orivabo. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
But let's begin with the very, very painful incident. Well, just on the eve of Christmas, we lost one of our staff, Hilary Odianosa, who was brutally killed by unknown gunmen. We hope that the security agents will swing into action and fish out those behind that dastardly act and bring them to justice. Our hearts goes out to the family members, both the immediate and extended family members of our departed colleague Hilary Odianosa, who was brutally killed on the eve of Christmas on the 24th of December. It's still a very sad moment for us here at ITV Radio. Just the same way we are mourning, a lot of people in Plateau State are mourning the brutal killing of their brothers, of their sisters, parents, mothers, and what have you. Let's get to this conversation. Mr. Mego, this is one incident too many. Plateau State, just like Benue State and several other states, they become states that innocent bloods are being spilled at the slightest provocation. And nobody knows when this will end. We thought that with the new government coming up, there will be a new strategy dealing with it, but the problem has continued unabated. Yeah.
Well, Duke, you have brought before us this morning a very sensitive matter on the Plateau case. But before I go into a Plateau matter, please accept your condolences on the death of one of your staff.
Thank you, sir.
May God accept his soul.
Amen.
Going to Plateau State, I think the federal government is not doing enough. You know, just a carpet cover that they are not doing enough. I say this because we are in the state of mourning in this country right now. We are talking of a state where we have lost close to 100 people and no information whatsoever as to what these people actually want. These people who are killing their own kinsmen, what exactly do they want? Nobody can tell us what they want. And nobody, where are the intelligence officers of this country? Nobody has been able to go into them and find out what they want as to know whether we'll be able to reconcile or not. We are just keeping quiet, okay, 26 kids today, 30 kids tomorrow, and we have nothing to say. We have what we call whistleblowers. The federal government can sponsor on 2-3 whistleblowers into the midst of these people and unravel exactly what is the cause of this problem. We'll just keep quiet, like you said in your opening remarks. Today is Plateau State, tomorrow can be anywhere. They want to just remove a certain group of people from a certain place of land. We cannot be doing that now. There is no single land, a foot by foot, that is now free in the whole world. All the land in the world has God created have been occupied. It is not now that we want to push people out of their own land because we have the wherewithal. So please, the federal government should wake up. And you just said something that to me, as an individual, is laughable. Oh, we send the vice president. Excuse me, sir. The Nigeria didn't vote for vice president for Shetima. Nigeria didn't vote for Shetima. So Nigeria voted Tinubu. When you are talking about 100 people dead, and Tinubu is still in late in Abuja, you should go there. Sympathize with members of the family, the state level, and then find out and promise the people we will go into this. What are we doing now? What have we done since? Nothing.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
So
Yeah.
I am saying we are not doing enough. We are not keeping our brothers together the way we ought to. Because I have always said, for example, always advocated that we are better together in this country.
Okay. All right, Roy, quickly walk us through your thoughts on some of the feedbacks that are coming from even the victims and some residents in those areas where these attacks have taken place. That, number one, the location of those who come every now and then to carry out these attacks, they are known. In a sense, these people can be identified, and interestingly, when these attacks took place, or normally when these attacks took place, it's as though all of a sudden within that period, security agents have gone to sleep, and then these people will just have a field day, do whatever they want to do, and then disappear.
Yes.
I'd like to get your take along those lines.
I think first and foremost, my heart goes out to Lieutenant Hillary. You know, I pray for God to accept his soul and overlook all his shortcomings.
Amen.
The issue of ground is very direct. It's happening because these are as a result of failure of government and governance. The government have not been there for us. Because the government have failed, and that's the reason why there's no solution. Those killers, they are ahead of the government. And you see Nigerian government, they are perpetually now specializing in how to pay contingency visit. Once it happens, you send any of the government officials to go there without thinking ahead. How do we rescue the whole situation? The situation will remain like this until we have a very focused government. We have government where people are thinking, formulate idea. With what we have on ground today now, there is no thinking. With due respect to those out there, there is no thinking. There is no new formula. There is no new idea. What we expect that since this government is new, this issue has been on ground for a very long time. What we naturally expect, so that the new government came on board, they should be able to address the fundamental issue. There was sentiment that was attached during the last government. People were saying, oh, because the president was from a particular region, people were using that kind of sentiment that you don't want to deal with his people. But now, what is going on? It's just a failure of government. It's a failure of government, and we continue to remain like that. We cannot continue to do the same thing the same way and expect different results.
Exactly.
Over the years, if it happens, you just send people there after 3 days, things just go down. Over 100 persons were murdered. Over 100 persons. I watched at the international news and I saw the numbers of persons. And you consider the numbers Nigeria was also releasing. Then you begin to ask yourself, for how long shall we continue to want to hide numbers? Human life, one life is very important. But you see Nigeria try to downplay the numbers. And that was also my fear about the whole arrangement. That if it is up to about 200 that died, why not just announce it? Why play with the numbers? Why reducing it? But when you focus on the international news, you will be seeing the figures they are giving us there. What that shows to be, there have not been sincerity on the part of government. And we cannot get it when we are not being sincere. All the motors, what we expect by now, the government will come with idea on how to address issue. These are not rocket science. These are persons, people are there who know them. They are not spirits. You can call for, if we want to talk, let's go for dialogue. Let's go for negotiation. As a pastor said just now, what really is the issue? What do you want? So that they have addressed the fundamentals. Now, you agree with me that the security system has since collapsed, and that is the reason why we are where we are in this country. People are presiding over those people, are not people who are supposed to be. You are giving a security advisor, you are giving it to somebody as a result of political patronage. What kind of result are you going to get? You won't get result. And then people are supposed to there, you look for them. These are things that are idea-oriented. You don't just use it to for settlement. Look at those who are managing our security architecture. You will know that we are not going to get results. We are not going to come out. Just imagine the pay those persons are passing through. An entire community, over 100 persons, was murdered in a day. Do you know the implication of that? For that community to get up and forge their head against, going to be an entire family was wiped out in that community. Yeah. I read that as an entire family was just wiped out. There is nothing remaining for that family. How do you cope? Does government have what it takes to compensate? The answer is no. Is government thinking ahead that this thing will not happen again? And these are some of the things in the Western world. If it happened once, the government world, this thing have happened, they immediately mobilize and say, how do we prevent this thing not to happen? On a daily basis, these things are happening. Even the people are even developing more ways. They are gradually even moving more ahead ahead of the government, and the government is not just border. You look at the budget of the money allocated to the vice president's office. It's now that was the reason why this money was allocated. They say for trouble. It's just for you to move from Abuja now to all those villages to be doing go and console. Anytime something happens, you go and console. Is that how we want to rule? Is that how Nigeria is supposed to be? The issues are on ground there. If it is a communal issue, mobilize the community together. I say, let's have a discourse. Let's dialogue. Let's negotiate. Whichever way you go, you settle the matter once and for all. It does not take anything to address this issue, as far as I'm concerned. The state government at that level is also helpless. Because the power of the state government is very helpless, limited. When we expect the federal mind, government should mobilize federal mind to that set. It's only when they want to do election, you start hearing of federal mind. They want to do, but the issue like this, you don't hear about federal mind. What is wrong with federal mind? This is the best time for we to see federal mind now. Going to that state to say no, let's do it. But during election, you start hearing federal mind. People will be bragging and telling you that we will use federal mind. This is when Nigeria requires federal mind now. They must go to the rescue of those persons. They must go to that community and look at the fundamentals. What are the issues? It's only of that we can formulate a workable direction for this society.
Okay, fantastic. Let's get you to engage the issue of the claims in some quarters. These actions are genocidal, and then secondly, it takes the form of ethnic cleansing, particularly against the background of the consistency of these attacks, the form of these attacks, and the wanton destruction of human lives. I mean, take for example the case of a whole family allegedly wiped out in this attack. Pastor Mego, you want to comment on that?
Yeah. You see, it comes to what we've been talking about. We are not addressing the kernel of the matter. If we are, by now we should be solving all these problems from one place to another. It is not just Plateau State. We are very happy in the southern part of Nigeria. Do you know, Duke, that there are some local governments in Niger State that are not managed by the state government, managed by government? And we pretend not to know that something exists. Some other states too, they are managed by government, and we are not saying anything. Nigeria is not even telling us that all the 774 local governments are under their own view. So we're in trouble. What do we do? My own advice is that we pay some people to go into them. If it's ethnic cleansing, what can we do to stop it? Or do we now go and share the land for them? Tribe A, tribe B, like what had happened in the biblical days. There are many things the government can do if the will is there. If your younger ones are quarreling at home, or children are quarreling, you know what to do to solve the situation. You can't just fold your arms and go and kill yourselves. It pains me to the marrow of my bone that you just allow people to be killing themselves. Sorry. So please, the only solution for us to go into the frontally, Duke, we should call these people. If you can't go there, let's call them and discuss. The flags should be flying at half-mast by now in this country. We are mourning. All the flags are still flying full. They should be flying at half-mast because we have lost over 100 people in one state, and we are not feeling the pains. Like you said, today is Plateau, tomorrow can be anybody. Yeah. And we think nothing is happening. We are thinking of how much goat, how much fowl to slaughter on the 1st of January. We should be a state in mourning right now. Maybe the government has not gotten the wherewithal to solve these problems. But when it escalates, that's when the federal might probably will come in. At that time, it must have spread to so many states, and it will be very difficult to solve. Please, through this meeting, we want to call on the federal government to do more to save the lives and properties of the people of Plateau State and more for them.
Okay. Roy, because the major talking point is that because of the form this has taken, and then the length of time it has taken with this incident happening consistently, and it looks like there is no end in sight. What do you make of the specific actions being taken by security agents to proactively deal with this issue?
There is no, as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to be a prophet of doom, but I don't see, because there's nothing on ground now to arrest the situation. You know, let us not deceive ourselves. There's nothing on ground. And once nothing is on ground to arrest the situation, this issue will continue. They will continue to invest on it. Human lives will be murdered there on a daily basis, yes, because the ability is not there. But the issue that is on ground is no matter the numbers of years, this person must have had misunderstanding. Once government intervention, it can sort the whole issue. You call the both parties together. What the issues? If it is the now issue as have been postulated, okay, you take from here and go, you take from here and go, so that the issues will not be there. As the government have not been able to set up and I watched the vice president on his visit there. The issue he was talking, as far as I'm concerned, was not an issue that was so endearing to the people. As you are there, you are supposed to be looking at the fundamentals. So how do we address this issue? If you want to set up the local as a committee to look at the matter, a very high power delegate for the presidency to also be there, you dialogue. I believe the only way forward for this is negotiation and dialogue, because the government does not have what it is. And also consider the terrain. The terrain is also, the terrain, there is no way the security will be able to maneuver their way to that place. Because it will take you to the headquarters, it's taking almost 4 hours. And how do you do that? That was just my thinking. I said it's not going to be easy. The only way forward, it have to be serious negotiation and discussion from both parties. The government now will not intervene. That is the responsibility of the government. The government must intervene immediately so that call both parties and look at the issue. But if we are telling our security that we can do it through this force mechanism, we will not be able, because we don't have what it is. As we are talking now, if you even call most of the security now, you call them, they will tell you that they don't have fuel. They don't have fuel. You are aware the cost of a liter now. They cannot negotiate those terrain. A man don't have a fuel. What do you expect him to do? And these are the issues. Corruption is also part of the issue.
But there's no evidence to back this claim that they will say there's no fear, and that's why it's difficult for them to go to some of these terrains.
Particularly, there are no records of that direction. But I'm just telling you. And let me use an example. I'm from Mologwa in Ohodwa. If anything is happening in Ohodwa, the nearest police station is in Ebohimi. Do you know how many hours it take you from there to get to Ebohimi? Therefore, if something like this is happening in my community no longer, I said the grace of God for we to succeed and survive it. Then I'm just looking at that picture. Look at that community and look at the headquarters, and you also look at the terrain. It's not going to be easy. Therefore, using force as an alternative will not work. The only what I believe on is going to be a very peaceful resolution, where you have to cut them and say, it's going to be about give and take.
Okay.
If it is about the
yes.
I do not want to subscribe to the fact that the terrain is disturbing them. We have helicopters. Are they not in Nigeria? This is Nigeria. Is there any part of Nigeria we cannot access?
So how many helicopters do we have to do that?
You can go and come back, Take 10 soldiers there, come back, build another, go and drop. Then Nigeria is Nigeria. There's no way the government cannot get to Nigeria. After all, they vote. The people in that area vote. And their votes count. So I don't want anybody to excuse the federal government because they are unable to, because of the terrain, they cannot get there. Please, sir, that's not what you take to the people.
Okay.